You see, when I was a child, I realised my parents warring what they really needed, I understood, I thought, was a happy family life. I'm going to choose a happy family life. I'm going to choose a wife not that's gorgeous like Mum, but just someone I love and can love and loves me. And I'm not going to do some fantastic worldly affluent job. I just want a lovely home and family, happiness and contentment. That's what I'm going to do. Well, in a sense I was on track, but I thought of it in the worldly way. And the revelation of my life is 3 wives that you've loved and have loved you, but have left you in the end. Is that what you wanted? Oh no, of course not, Lord. And I found what I was looking for. Contrary to that popular song, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. There's a key line in it. I see if you probably know it, but yeah. Okay, I was on track when I thought, well, I must do a job that I enjoy. It's worth it in itself. That was on track. And at some point at university, I thought, no, this is not the way. I want to do something that's of value to caring for people. I should be a trainee social worker. And that was wonderful, came to hand. And I met my first wife. And I was of the frame of mind that I don't want affairs, I don't want girlfriends, I want someone permanent to love and care for. She doesn't have to be fantastic, just someone I can love and care for and will therefore love me. There was a slight requirement in there that I didn't have sovereign control over. And as you can see, I've been divorced 3 times. I felt each one was a tragedy to me. Yeah, well, I won't go into that. But it was a blessing. Because it's guided me into, well, what do you truly value? Well, it is to love that which... I suppose I value that to be perfect, to what is perfect. And I don't know necessarily what that is, but that's what I'm longing for. So I found God. And as I say, God made in my own image, you might criticize me for. It's just the personification of what I value, whether I'm right to value such or not. Well, that's true, but part of that understanding is that he also values rescuing me as I would want to rescue him, or any other form of life. All life, in fact. Do you feel that strain of harmlessness coming in? Caring for all life. Loving all life. God is love. Not just truth. And certainly not just power. Love. Creativity. Love and kindness. Kindness is to do with protecting and supporting and helping creativity, that which is wonderful, life itself. I'm come that you might have life and have it more abundantly, says Jesus in the story. The goal is eternal life, in that understanding of things, of course, not the eternal living that we've experienced here, which is the eternal contrast of good and evil, that we might come to know what we value and to love that we may graduate to the kingdom of heaven, being part of the lovely family of God, his meaning for living, his joy, and ours too, eternally. It's as simple and as childish as that. I was at Rudolf Steiner School yesterday in the assembly because my 11-year-old is there at the school. There was only about less than 10 parents there. It was a lovely assembly, and the kids all presented their class projects, by class. There's probably 6 or 7 classes there, I'm not sure. Oh, hang on, 1, 2, no more than that. Anyway, there's the whole range up to when you leave school, that age. 16 or whatever it is. 17 now 18. Yeah, so they go from 6 to 18. There's 12 years of school, isn't it? Goodness, it's like me, a professional school child. I was at school, I've been at school for decades. I just called university, that was the only difference. Where was I? Let me pause a minute. Just a minute ago on this recording, about 5 minutes through the recording, do you see this, the way my voice hesitates and then comes in? It's like a wave motion. It goes da 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 da. The way the words are flowing is like that, and the wave crashes down. There's it reminds me of, it's not the same thing, but the way the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam is written. Awake for the sun who scattered into flight the stars before him from the field of night, drives night along with them and strikes, do you notice that doesn't rhyme, the Sultan's turret with a shaft of light. And it crashes down there, you see. So there's the two that rhyme, there's the one discordant one, doesn't rhyme, line, and then the fourth line crashes in, rhymes again. And somehow it's what you've waited for, and it's made its impression. And I'm speaking in that wave formation sometimes when I'm in sync, so to speak. It's as if it's I'm thinking it's as if it's some natural pattern phenomenon that's even in nature, in the way the waves come and break, and the way our speech comes in and breaks. Ideally, I fancy from God, of course. And it comes when I'm at my most eloquent, if you like, my most flowing and in sync, I don't know how else to explain it. I just noticed that, for what it's worth. Thank you, Dad. It's a strange thing about apprenticeship. You start to mimic, copy, without realizing it, the person you're with. You see the incredible importance of right company choice. Right company is everything. It's more important than practice, meditation, exercise, understanding. To have the right company. Dare I say it, but when you choose to love God, to trust in God, to follow God, to believe in God, assuming the God that you choose to trust personifies what you truly value at heart. You're on the only track that your individuality, can truly be. And you're trusting God with all your heart that He's going to lead you through. What could be more reliable and wonderful than the child that truly trusts the parent, the one that's brought them into the world and ideally, of course, loves them? It makes the parent's life so much easier and so much more wonderful. Mum was astonished at the way she had a kiddie who was in some sense her ideal, devoted to her, loved her. I mean, we just loved each other, flat out. Just to be in each other's company was all that we needed. She may have been a very worldly person in some ways. In some ways she was very spiritual, way ahead of her time, of course. Bright and beautiful. But more importantly, utterly loving, as I understood it. You see, we're in this world to experience good and evil and to choose the good. And we have this incredible capacity for doing that. We need to exercise it. All we can. All we can. Choose that which is good, especially when it comes to company. Right environment, right media, right influence, right job. Not just the wife you take a fancy to, but right as you understand it. Loving and kind. You think, oh, she just wants to make a family. Well, I can understand that. Can I help her in doing this? Will I be happy just making her life wonderful? Rather fancy doing that. Well, you can be wrong, amazingly. You'd have been better being devoted to God. But that's all right. Do what you think is best. You'll find out accordingly. But if you want my advice, well, you're much safer loving God than loving another child like yourself. And don't get me wrong, I love all life in that I want the best for it. I want fullness of life for all life. Ideally, I don't want an exclusive love that prevents me caring optimally for all. And I mean optimally from their point of view, not mine only, but all of us. I've lost my way, hang on. I guess it's this, that really you are much safer loving God. Sure, he personifies caring for all, which is what you wish to do as well, but well, you can't do it without God, can you? You need all his power, all is love to achieve such a goal. And you need his understanding, not your own. It can become your own. We trust that. Because a loving God would want his children to be like him in ability and joy and fullness of life and eternal life. Of course, I want this and more for my children. Their individuality too. That we'd be a wonderful fellowship family eternally. You need to know in your heart what your God's goal is and pursue it. You may find down the road that you adjust this view from your experience. Well, yes. Don't worry about that when you get there. But until you have a better view, if such there be, this is the way to go. So we choose to love God with all our heart, soul, mind and strength. And yes, he is the personification of all that we understand at present to be good and lovely, including an incredible trust in his willingness to guide us to the truth as well, the reality of what is truly good and lovely, as he understands it, not as we understand it. So we hold this in trust. We'd be mad not to do so. No, just a child. Children take time to come round to understanding. Takes a bit of experience. It takes a magnificent school like this universe that we're in here. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Oh goodness, let me add, in case you missed it, and I missed it, I think. You choose God. He's the right company. He's the perfection, the personification of what you value, even though you can't quite visualize it. But you know he is. And your awareness of him in all your details of daily life, what you think of as trivia, is not trivial at all. The awareness of his company at the same time in it transforms us into his likeness. That's what good company does. We become like him. And of course he kindly, in the understanding of him, guides us as we go. He's the perfect teacher, you see. Of course, that's part of what we attribute to him. Love you, Heavenly Dad. Love you. You see, John 17, I have to say it, this is life eternal, to know thee. And the way, Jesus, you see, personifying the way. Do you see what that line's about? It's your rescue in a nutshell, I was going to say, and I suppose that's right to say. The nutshell has in it the seed of life. Massive oak tree or whatever it is, you know. This is life eternal, to know thee, the only true God. Yes, whatever that is, of course. By definition, it's a truism. It's, yeah. This is the way. Walk you in it. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.